This video is made possible by NordVPN. Start protecting your internet experience today. Go to nordvpn.com/TopTenz and use code TopTenz to get 70% off a 3-year plan and an extra month for free. Protect yourself online today, and let's get started. In 1949, Eric Blair, known by the pen name of George Orwell, published 1984, a novel that has shown its predictive power manifested in the current state of society. Blair coined the term Big Brother for the symbolic figurehead of the totalitarian state, Oceania. In the dystopian society, every citizen is under constant surveillance, with the government's slogan, Big Brother is watching you, being a reminder of the state's omnipresence. The United States government has taken a slightly different approach, but the endgame is much the same. The leaks by Edward Snowden bring to light what many of us already believe, that the United States is moving closer and closer to a society where its citizens have nearly all actions monitored. In light of this, here's our top 10 examples that we're living in a Big Brother society without even knowing it. Number 10. License plates. Ever heard of plate reading cameras? Well, we hadn't. Unbeknownst to many citizens, a plate reading camera is now mounted on many police cruisers around the country. This device can check if a car is unregistered, uninsured, or stolen. In addition, police officers now have automatic license plate readers that are designed to track the movements of every vehicle they pass. According to the ACLU, the devices can capture and collect the license plate number and the date, time, and location of every scan. A huge database of information on drivers has been collected, and with improvements in technology, analysts believe that authority figures will have greater knowledge of our movements. One of the biggest points of contention for many civil liberties activists is the ability for third parties to gain access to said data. The connection of government and the private industry should worry any citizen who wants to protect their privacy. Number 9. Sidewalk cameras. While it might be a foregone conclusion that in the United Kingdom you're being monitored when you walk down any street, Americans have come to demand privacy and protection from the government. It might frighten some of you to know that in many cities there's a good chance that you're being monitored as you walk to work. An ACLU report has demonstrated that the city of Chicago has access to 10,000 publicly and privately owned cameras throughout the city, and in the downtown district, virtually every segment of the public way is under video surveillance. Not only are cities spending money on surveillance cameras and software, but the Department of Homeland Security has spent millions on even more sophisticated high-tech video cameras. So, when you're walking down the street, don't forget to smile, because there's a good chance there's a camera somewhere watching. Number 8. Public transportation. There's a good chance that you've seen the slogan, if you see something, say something, while riding public transportation. It just so happens that you're not the only one looking. The Department of Homeland Security has funded the installation of public bus video and audio surveillance in numerous US cities. A Wired article outlines that buses around the country are quietly adding microphones that would give them the ability to record and store private conversations. Cities that already have listen-in bus surveillance include San Francisco, Baltimore, Detroit, Heartland, Concord, and Boston. Natural questions that opponents of the measure have brought forward include the legality of such a measure, as the government would be eavesdropping without a warrant. Number 7. National Security Agency. One of the biggest government agencies that is responsible for spying on its citizens is the National Security Agency. The likes of AT&T have admitted that domestic internet traffic was being diverted through a splitter cable, which essentially allowed NSA technicians to access data. While Facebook and Microsoft have denied their collusion with the government in this capacity, the Washington Post and Guardian outlets have reported that the government has direct access to their servers. This intrusion on our privacy goes back to the Bush administration and has only continued. With the ever-present threat of terrorism as a fear tactic, it is unlikely that citizens will truly ever be able to have the sense of privacy that many desire. Number 6. Phone calls. One of the well-documented cases of espionage is the government spying on our phone use. What is less known is that our locations are also being collected. According to constitutional lawyers, while it's illegal for the government to listen to the content of private landline or cell phone conversations conducted entirely within the US, the National Security Agency is allowed to collect phone call metadata, i.e. time, date, location, phone numbers of each party. The catch in regards to phone calls is the location on the other ends of the line. Documents reveal that the NSA can legally listen into your phone conversation if you're talking to someone who's outside of the country. As we mentioned earlier, it's the monitoring of our locations via cell phones that surprised us so much. Apparently, police departments around the United States have been using cell phones to track the locations of individuals without a court warrant. So, just before we get into the top 5 today, you might be thinking, wow, surveillance, pretty scary. I should do something about that. Well, the good news is you can with today's sponsor, NordVPN. If you're buying things online and using public Wi-Fi, think coffee shops, airports, etc., you really should be using a VPN, and that's where NordVPN comes in. Whenever I'm browsing on public Wi-Fi, I just keep NordVPN running in the background so I don't have to worry about anyone stealing my data. But it's not all about security. You can also use it to change the country that you appear to be in so you can get content that might normally be only available in specific geographic locations. NordVPN is also super fast, so watching videos is a breeze. There's no lag whatsoever. If you ever used VPNs and thought they were slow, well, no more with Nord. Also, you can use it on all of your devices very easily: Android, Chrome, Windows, Linux, and on 6 different devices with just one account. Also, there's no logs kept at all, unlike companies based in the EU or US. NordVPN is over in Panama, so they don't have to keep any logs. Great for your privacy. Indeed, they are the only VPN to get a perfect score from PC Mag. So, start protecting your internet experience today. Go to nordvpn.com/TopTenz and use the code TopTenz to get 70% off a 3-year plan and a month for free. And let's get into the top 5. Number 5. Credit cards. Although it may come as no surprise that your credit card data is collected, the depths of their use and the profile that is formed around your shopping habits is alarming. Most credit card companies not only collect your data, but sell it to third parties. The conditions of your agreement allow the companies to perform data analyses that have seemingly given them the right to create profiles on their consumers and sell the information to the highest bidder. The NSA is one of the third parties that obtains data from the credit card companies. According to Time magazine, the credit card issuers could provide the NSA details such as an account or card numbers, where and when a purchase was made and for how much. In conjunction with the growing amount of surveillance, it would not be difficult for the NSA to track down the specific individual or individuals who made a respective purchase. Number 4. Emails. A very interesting encounter occurred a while back at TopTenz between one of our writers and our staff that really fully demonstrates the Big Brother society that we live in. After being paid for an article about North Korea, a note was included about the contents for the payment. The message on the payment said, "For the article on North Korea." Somehow, this message alerted some system of surveillance and the payment was held from going through. Staff members were made to fill out forms just to get the payment approved, and even then it took more than a week before it became apparent that it wouldn't go through. This episode is startling because if such an innocent incident is being investigated, well, how do they have the ability to find all the really dangerous ones? Number 3. Cookies. When a website asks you if you're okay with its cookie policy, do you have any idea what they actually mean? Cookies are small text files given ID tags that are stored on your computer's browser directory or program data subfolders. They allow government entities and private companies to track the websites that you visit and eventually compile all the data gleaned from the cookies into huge databases. That's why when you search for a new bag or t-shirt, you're likely to see advertisements for said product on other websites that you visit. Some of the specific groups that have access to this information include the NSA, local police, and the private sector, specifically advertising companies. With the information they gain from your website traffic, third parties can come up with a great picture of who you are as a consumer and a person. Number 2. Gumfish. One of the least known ways we're being spied on by our government is through a tool called Gumfish. Reports state that the NSA has developed mass surveillance operations via malware implants used to infect computers worldwide. As a result, government agencies can access one's webcam in a remote fashion and turn it on if they so please. According to a recent Wired article, the spy tool called Gumfish can commandeer cameras on infected computers to take photos and record conversations of unsuspecting private citizens, all of this seemingly done without a warrant. Number 1. Endless War. In homage to Orwell's 1984, we thought we'd end this video with a reference to his iconic novel. The final way that shows Americans are truly living in a Big Brother society is the almost perpetual state of war that they seem to be experiencing as a population. Just like in 1984, where the nation was at war with enemies that would change constantly. Americans have experienced more than a decade of war with the Middle East, and terrorism has been declared the enemy. Before that, the Soviet Union was made to be the biggest threat towards freedom, and proxy wars were fought all around the globe. If history serves, it won't be long before America is engaged in another war, just as Orwell predicted. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button below. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want more stuff from me, why not check out another channel I do called Today I Found Out. I'm going to link to that below. And as always, thank you for watching.